So today I'm taking a look at another super budget phone. This time it's the Blackview Wave 8C, available on Amazon for around 80 quid. Now this wouldn't be Ash Does Tech if I didn't take a bit of a journey into the unknown just to see what phones like this are all about and what they're like as daily phones. So I'm just going to whip it out the box, see what it's all about, and if you're interested, stick around and subscribe if you want to see more videos a little bit like this. Okay, so here is the new Blackview Wave 8C. Like I said, it's available on Amazon for around 80 quid. So it's a super budget phone, and of course you have to set your expectations accordingly when you're buying phones like this. 64 gigs of storage, just 2 gigabytes of base RAM with an extra 4 gigs from that storage. So it is a very, very basic phone. Any more info? 4,700 mAh battery, 13 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel selfie, 2 plus 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage, and then a 720p display at 6.5 inches, just 60 Hertz. So we'll just whip it on out the box. Blackview warranty card on top. Here is the phone itself. I mean, it does look quite nice. Nice blue color. A few more specs there. Trash in the place as I'm putting the phone down. And then just a charging brick rated at just 10 watts and a USB-C charging cable. So here is the Blackview Wave 8C. Peel that off. Pre-applied screen protector on the phone, comes pre-clad in a protective case, which apparently is super glued on. There we go. Doesn't feel too bad. Pretty typical plastic feel. Volume rockers on the right with a power button. I'm assuming with an integrated fingerprint scanner on the embedded as well, but you never know, it's this cheap, there might not be one. 3.5mm headphone jack, USB-C, which is nice, bottom fire and speaker, and a microphone. At the top is clean, and then on the left is your SIM tray. So we'll just power the phone on. I'll quickly go through the setup process, and we'll just have a very quick squint at the OS. Okay, so here is the Blackview Wave 8C, all set up and ready out of the box. And as you can see, it's a pretty stock version of Android. There's no bloatware or anything like that, just their own sound recorder, FM radio, and that's about it. You've got YouTube pre-installed on there, not even Facebook is installed on there. So it's a nice clean version of Android. So if we just jump into the settings, go down to About Phone, and then you can see we are running Android 14, 2 gigabytes with an extra gig of RAM on top, but you can expand that up to 4 gigs. But like I said, it's a very basic version of Android. Now for processor, I'm only going to say this once because I'll never remember what the processor's name is. It's running a Unisoc SC9863A, and it's built on a 28 nanometer fabrication. So it's a processor that has got a ridiculously long name, probably not going to remember, and it's not built on a very efficient process. So it's not going to be the best performance at all. Pack that with only 2 gigs of RAM, you're only going to get the most basic of performance from this phone. You're only paying 80 quid, but even for 80 quid, there are phones on the market with much better performance. But to be fair, the display does look okay. But in terms of apps opening, it's relatively slow. Nothing happens too quickly, but then that is to be expected on a phone like this, especially using that kind of processor. Now you do get a 13 megapixel rear camera and an 8 megapixel selfie camera. If we just test out that 13 megapixel main camera, let's find the subject. Let's take the box. As you can see, even capturing the photo takes a minute. And then of course, processing takes a little bit of time as well. Of course, you're not going to get the best performance even in the brightest of conditions with a camera like this. And then if we just jump and take an 8 megapixel selfie camera, sorry, a selfie. And again, I mean, if you look close, that is a pretty nasty quality looking photo. So it's just one of those phones that really it's going to be for someone that isn't really going to use their phone all that much, I wouldn't have thought. Because overall performance from this phone is going to be pretty slow. The camera is pretty terrible. You just get 2 gigs of RAM. Of course, you can expand it. You only get 64 gigs of storage, where even some budget phones are coming with 128 gigs. I think about the only thing good going with this particular phone is that design. It does look really nice. But yeah, if you look at the cameras there, yeah, you can tell sometimes even by looking at cameras like that, that they're not going to be the best. They're very narrow, so they're not going to take in a huge amount of light. And of course, quality is not going to be the best. Now, I do have a couple of other Blackview phones. It's not all negative. I've got the Blackview Shark 9, which I have done a separate unboxing video on, so be sure to check that one out. This one is pretty good. It's considerably faster with a Unisoc T820. And then if I put both of these down, I have also got the Blackview A96, which I've picked up in 2 colors, the purple and the black. Again, that's actually a really nice phone. It's got an aluminium frame, it's got a glass back. Camera, again, isn't the best, but it's considerably better than that one. And the display on that is a 1080p 120Hz. So I would consider going for something like this, or the Shark 9 if you're looking at a 90 quid phone. But there are other phones on the market. Motorola have got a few cheap phones which are likely to perform a little bit better than this one, which is a shame because, like I said, the design is nice, but just most other things about this phone are pretty poor. Now let's just have a look to see if there is a fingerprint scanner on this phone. Set screen lock. We'll just set a pattern to begin with. Next. Confirm. So there is only the option to do a face unlock, which is just going to be a 2D image of your face, and then the screen lock. So there is no fingerprint scanner on this either for more secure biometrics. And then if we just jump into this, Android 14, security update October 2024. This ain't going to get any updates, let's be honest. So overall, I'll be honest, it's not really a phone I can recommend, which is unfortunate considering it's got, you know, a bit of potential really to be a pretty nice looking phone. But yeah, it's not one that I'm likely to recommend you buy. Stick to a Motorola, a Xiaomi phone, or even one of the newer or more expensive Blackview phones that, whilst they may not have good reliability when it comes to software, they're going to be a much better option than this. But let me know what you think of the Blackview Wave 8C. They did send this over to me to check out. Unfortunately, it's not really a positive one. But let me know down in the comments what you think. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I have got other videos of Motorola's and other bits and bobs that are a bit more recommendable than this one. And I'll see you in the next one.